Okay. Hello everyone, it's Amelia Rose, and I am back with more how to write certain parts of a book. And wasn't originally going to do this because um the series that I'm writing on the channel to kind of hopefully help people with formatting their own stuff and getting through the very fun but admittedly frustrating as hell process. um, uh, it takes place on Earth. You don't need to typically create lore for Earth. Um, and since it takes place in the Appalachian Mountains, it already has myths. I didn't have to do all that work, but then I realized probably should. Ignore this part. I'm reusing something on Canva right now. But I did want to show off my process for making, for like, um, sorry, I barely slept last night, but for making like notes, like what kingdoms might do, what might happen, or one of the ways to create kind of a hmm, non already established like area, which is why I have the picture of my Atlantis notes, which has the founding year, the founder, official colors, official languages, and then some facts. And so I figured I would do that again with oops, with one of the other kind of areas that exist within my Shadow of Light series, but we never really see. Because there is a lot of background lore that is briefly mentioned that I am eventually just going to put up on a website. And so I wanted to showcase. I have not yet made a note page for the Dorina Collective, which I think that's Australia. I don't know. It's an island on the world map. Um, if it's not obvious, I barely passed. Is it? I don't even remember what study's called. Maps. I'd be fucked if I didn't have a GPS. I admit that freely. Um, but for example, 'cause, like with the Atlantis Kingdom, it's very clear. It's the wrong thing. It's very clear. Like there's the founder, there's the royal family. But with something like the Dorina Collective, which canonically in the book would be like a kind of like not a traditional kingdom, but has like councils. Um, it what the fuck did I write on that? It is a council. It's known for trading. Ah, that's what that means. But so where founder would be, I'd put maybe multiple people or no people at all, but it would have official colors, official languages, but it wouldn't have a royal family. Instead, it would have the name of the council. And founding year, it would be before Atlantis, so fuck it. 1,000 years before. I don't intend to actually do the big ass history of it. We can just say the founders unknown because that's hours upon hours of work I don't feel like doing right now, but I can later go back and do it. Not chance in hell for right now. I'm too fucking tired. Unknown. Okay. And then official colors, like for Atlantis, it's gold, blue, and white. For the Dorina Collective, it would be orange, um, gold. Oh god, it had a third color and I don't remember what it. Oh yeah, sapphire. Because the Dorina Collective, what it does uh, in trade is typically um. God, I can't spell today or talk. Jesus, this video's a mess. But it would trade in like ornate headbands, um, like luxury goods, luxury food. Like it's supposed to be this very rich, kind of ornate place. I I think that's Australia. There's Australia on a map. Uh, where is Australia? Yeah, it's Australia. Okay. So where Australia is on a map in my books, it starts off as the Garena Collective. A massive calamity happens. It's kind of talked about in the books. I can't spoil it. Um, and then all the Magic Kingdoms fall, except for like Neto Island and the Bloodlands, because they're protected by magic. And then what we know as our civilization today rises. So they kind of started over. But like in the canon of my books, uh, like Samoan, Vietnamese, and German, those ancestries kind of came from Atlantis and spread out after the calamity. So I don't know what I want because the Dorina Collective is kind of supposed to be. Sorry, still don't think that's how I spell that. But it's supposed to be like a mishmash. It is very much a merchant trade driven thing. It's known for its port towns. Official languages, council. I can put that in later as like the main family's capital. I do not have a name for it yet, but the most common magic there would probably be fire and mind, because in the lore of my books, mind magic is very much sort of associated with um like gold and lapis and sort of not necessarily ornate, but definitely like if people found someone and their magical aura was gold or this lapis blue or shards of either color, they would assume they had mind magic. There's lore to that. It's a long fucking story. It gets talked about later in the books. It's not published yet. Oh, ugh. Uh, wait, was I wrong? Looking at my notes now. Hang on. Oh yeah, no. Oh, that's another thing. Keep track of your notes, because I almost forgot to put this in. Runic magic is very common in. Whoa. And not me to do that. Very common in the Dorina Collective. They often use it on jewelry. So, like, I can keep that in mind later in my books or when I inevitably put it on my website. Shut up, Gemini. Instead of having to create, I can just go, oh, they found this ring from the Dorina Collective. It's inscribed with runes, and this is common. So they can then look at other stuff from that area. Um, but like with it, just honestly putting fun facts. I'm putting mine on the webs on my website once it goes up. Once I do all that, you don't have to, but keeping it organized, especially if it's a smaller thing like this, like with Atlantis, um, it has close familial ties with Neto Island, which is why in the first book, when Atlanta needs help protecting part of her family, she sends a letter to the King of Neto Island. He's her godfather. They're also cousins. That's why she feels so safe contacting him, because they've been family pretty much since the beginning. Um, and then the reason why there's a golden dolphin on the front of Hold On is because that is Atlantis' official animal. And gold dolphins are extremely rare and they're a sign of good luck. That's I don't even think I bring it up in the first two books, but it's an important piece that later might get brought up. It's also just fun little facts that you can, even just having the note for yourself or sneaking in tiny little references can be fun. And I know I'm not explaining this well, which is why I've had too much caffeine, which is why I'm typing it out, even though I haven't, and I need to keep typing. Um, But a thing that is going to come up in the later books is the Dorina Collective would often hid um prophecies like in their jewelry. So these jewelry and artwork. So like some of the main characters when they inevitably go to figure out this prophecy that is supposed to be um affecting everyone pretty much in the books. They they realize by looking at some of the runes, those that were trained in runic magic and going, "Oh, this isn't, protection, caring. These are supposed to be words. Like these are supposed to be hieroglyphs and words, sort of." And it's this prophecy that the Dorina Collective put on their jewelry and in their paintings that are scattered about this area. It's a prophecy that was written in Sanskrit and hidden in Arata, the Mer Kingdom. It's a very old thing. Even like the Fae have it, and it's just something that I can go back and look at. I can put online as sort of a here's what these very few things mean. And for example, um, I can't pull up the picture because my computer will crash if I do that now. And I think I wrote it down. Where are you? Note. Oh, oh, I never wrote it down. I should probably do that. Uh, where'd it go? Ah, found it. For example, while most of the uh, magical kingdoms have been lost to this great calamity, some did manage to kind of survive and coexist alongside like today's world. So, for example, in South America, there are two ancient kingdoms called Murata and Saras, and both of those managed to kind of continue hiding. Um, they're meant to be like the ancestors of Aztec, Mayan, Incan, all the ancient civilizations of South America. And they did kind of remain in hiding in all the, old temples and ruins that we see as ruins, but they're just kind of hidden with magic and people don't explore them because there's dangerous creatures. And in reality, it's just magic kind of pushing people away. It's like a veil that says, "We're not here. Fuck off so you don't discover us." And so like those two managed to survive, but um Andran, Zorano survived for a little bit. They're gone now, but like Morana, not Murata. Why did I do that to myself? Carmine, Jaina, like all of the rest of them, except for a couple like strongholds of the old magic and old learning, they all perished in this calamity and had to start over. Eventually rose up to be the U.S., Canada, Britain, all that shit. Um, but I do know one of the main inspirations for the Dorina Collective, although it's placed in Australia, and it shares this with what is called the Freehold, which is at like the very bottom of what I'm pretty sure is Africa. Yeah, I think that's Africa. I don't know. Again, I did not do good at maps or pointing places out. I'm pretty sure this is Africa. Um, they both had heavy like Persian influence, especially due to a lot of their trade. And so a lot of the bright, colorful, like artwork and like fabrics and dress styles that we would kind of associate with like the height of the Persian Empire would also kind of get their start in the Freehold and Durina Collective. and then make their way back to where Persia is actually located. And it would actually become more Persian there. Like some of the dress styles might be there. Um, but it's not just Persian because again, the Darina Collective would be it's a trade area. There's a lot of people. It is an actual melting pot of cultures, languages, which is why I haven't decided what the official languages would be. Um, I might just I haven't decided. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Um, Fun fact about writing, you just pull half of it out of your ass. And that makes it really fun. Um, like Persian and say like Welsh influence in art, food, all of that. And that's kind of the fun part of it. The one thing I do know, and this is purely like my book stuff, none of it's based off the real world, is a certain type of wyvern comes from the Dorina Collective. Like they were there in Australia. Um, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to spell this wrong. So let me look it up because this one's important. They are known as Arachne dragons, and they are dragons that heavily look like spiders. Um, Slightly based off. Okay, yeah, I did spell that wrong. Arachne. Um, but they originated from the Dorina Collective. They are not dragons, wyverns. They originated in the Dorina Collective. They are one of the like four oldest types of dragons um in the book series, and I just looked at the picture sort of like Atlantis has Atlas and Seraphim dragons. So Atlas dragons, if you look at the cover of Little Rose, those are the dragons that um Mally and Lily have. Um Lilith, Liam's dragon in that book, is a Seraphim dragon, and their trait is they have like rattling scales. And I believe I said what kind of dragon Jake has in that book. I should have put more notes before I did this. Um, but his dragon is a little different. But the Arachne dragons would be kind of almost spidery. Like their wings would look like webs. They'd have web like um oh, I never did say what kind of dragon he is. Ooh, that's not good. But they would look almost web like. They wouldn't really have traditional scales, much as they would have the kind of feathery leg shit that spiders have. Fun fact about me, um, I would rather face down a bear than a spider. I fucking hate spiders. I do not like arachne wyverns. My friend will when I eventually commission her to draw all the wyverns and dragons and I can put like the family tree of where they came from. I fucking hate spiders. Pretty sure I have arachnophobia. I don't know. I don't know if that's a thing you can even get actually diagnosed with. I don't care. I want them far away from me. So I would hate arachne wyverns. Um, but this is where they come from. They're one of the oldest um types of dragons. And this video has been kind of all over the place, but essentially, if you want to build your own, I know why that's doing that. If you want to build your own like own kingdoms and you don't want to base it too much on the world as we know it, the oh so lovely Earth. This is one way to do it. This is still loosely based on Earth, but this is like years before. It's supposed to be kind of like a rewrite of history, but you put down the basics, colors, what languages they might technically speak. For example, um, French in your book might not be French. It might be called something completely different, but the words are French. Because you're not creating a new language. You might just reuse the language and name it something else. Or um, you could say the styles of a certain kingdom might be based off of Rococo France. And so you would put that in your note. Um, and if you were paying someone to draw anything like I do, that could be a note you give them. Um, if- or if you're trying to get something like kind of like a drawing of the castles and the area, you would put it, you would give them the note that says, this is based off Versailles, or this is based off, old Russian architecture or old Persian mosques, anything kind of like that. And I handwrite most of these, and I keep it in a binder. I was going to handwrite this, except my camera that I was using took a shit on me. Like, and this video is way longer than it needs to be, and I need to take a shower because then I'm going to a friend's house. We're gonna make pasta. Um, but video was slightly all over the place. I hope just looking at whatever the hell I created can help. If the audio's strange, I do apologize. I'm in my college dorm. Um, it is in the Midwest, so there's a lot of wind. I don't have the mountains and the trees to block the wind like I usually do. I don't know if it can be heard with the earbuds I'm using, but just like my camera was picking it up really well before I put the earbuds in and switched my mic. So if you can hear it, I'm sorry. If I'm too loud, I'm sorry. I am watching the bar kind of go up higher than I want. But um I noticed, and so did my sister. She told me that I talk really quietly sometimes. So I'm trying to not do that anymore. Um, if there's any questions for whoever may watch this, let me know. I'll answer. Um, if I ever need to redo this video, let me know. I'm aware it's a shit show. I am tired. I am overcaffeinated, and I'm in pain. So I'm all over the place right now. But um, I will at some point when the what's it called? When the website goes up, I'll have like templates that you can download, um, and you can use them in whatever if you want to use them in your own book and just have it in the back. They're completely free to use in anything, even if you sell it. So you can download the templates, decorate them however you want. Sometimes it's just fun to decorate your notes. Um, but they'll be there, and there'll also be like a written version of this video on the website if you don't want to watch a video. And there is also a website that I have published on and that has um, similar writing advice, and that's Bejeweled Bark Publishing. So if you look there, you might find more stuff too. And I'm gonna send them the templates as well, see if they want them. So sorry for my chaos. Sorry that I'm completely fucking out of it today. But I hope this helps anyone. Um, it would have helped me. Stay safe, have a lovely day, and I'll see you guys next time.